being here. Appreciate your presence and opportunity to participate in a variety of different ways today. Genevieve Mitchell has already presented very clearly earlier the meeting agreement, which sets the overall tone we hope this event will take, which I hope everyone can agree to. The organizers of this event have developed a few ground rules for the panel and audience, and we hope that you will also agree to them. Their purpose is to help facilitate a productive dialogue where we will respectfully today listen, learn, and engage. We don't have to agree necessarily with one another. In fact, conflict sometimes can it not be constructive. But we do have to genuinely hear one another for us to be able to get beyond where we are in our thinking and actions. And for that to occur, we need to respect one another as human beings, even if we may agree or disagree with one another's ideas or actions. So therefore, with that in mind, here are the proposed ground rules for today as established by the organizers. Each panelist will speak for no longer than 6 minutes. And toward that end, without a doubt, the most important person in the room is our friend Mosi here, who is the timekeeper. Toward that end, he will wave, poke, prod, do whatever he needs to do to make sure that each panelist knows what do you have, 2 minutes?
2 minutes.
And then time to stop. If you do not stop, I will gently remind you by coming up and trying to not anyway pester you, but come up next to you at the podium. The audience is asked to hold their applause until all the panelists have spoken. As moderator, I will ask the first question just to get the question and answer period started off. Questions from the audience, that being all of you, may be directed to the entire panel or to a specific panelist. In the interest of time, for questions directed to the entire panel, we ask that no more than 3 of the panelists respond, unless there is a 4th or 5th or more panelist that just has a burning reason to add his or her comments. The audience should ask a question and keep any prefacing remarks to a minimum. Let me repeat that. The audience should ask a question and keep any prefacing remarks to a minimum. This is not an opportunity for extended floor speeches. This is not out of disrespect to any one of you, but rather out of respect for others who wish to ask questions. Time allowing, audience members are encouraged to ask follow-up or additional questions, but only after everyone in the audience who wishes to do so has had a chance to ask. To ask a question, we ask that you raise your hand and your name, shout out your name. Your name will be listed in the order that I recognize you, and then you'll be called upon to give, again, your brief comment and if there's any prefacing comment before your questions. Panelists are our guests and should be treated respectfully. However, we encourage challenging questions, but they must be questions, not speeches or ad hominem remarks. Please keep your questions focused and related to the topic of police body cameras. We'll have other forums and other issues as we have been in the future. And after the question and answer session, each panelist may take a 1-minute time for closing. Okay, now you need to repeat everything back. All right, with that, I assume that we are going to have comments and presentations from the panelists in the order that they are listed on your program. Am I right? Yes. Okay, so with that, people know who they are, and they don't need to be introduced once more. So I call on the first panelist to present. Again, thank you all for coming, and thank you all for participating and honoring these proposed